Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Matt, and today I decided to build a little winter scene. I'm calling this one Winter Mountains, as, you know, it seems pretty clear it's going to be some mountains in winter. Right now I'm just laying out the base of them, slowly going up to see, kind of where I want the mountains to lie. I decided to have the first one just a medium height, and later I'm going to put the back ones up even more, and maybe even add in a second mountain, not as I'm doing right now. This one's going to be a little bit flatter, a little bit more pronounced on the forward-facing side than the other one, just to mix it up a little bit. Each mountain's going to be different. And here I'm adding in two more in the back. When the camera switches to the front, you'll get a very much better view of how it looks, and they're pretty well uncentered. They're just kind of sitting behind the other two mountains that I have, and then I'll put in a fifth one larger in the back of all three or four of them. Sorry, my bad. But if you want three mountains, put in three mountains. I encourage you to get out your Minecraft game, pull out your mouse and your keyboard, and just kind of build along with me on this one. I'm not trying to tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. I'd really just like to give you some ideas and some inspiration and kind of techniques to use when building in the future. Now, what I did to make these mountains is I had a kind of angled path to begin with, just one block wide. And then I built that up, and then from the other sides, from the forward-facing side, at least on this one, I started going out and down, creating nooks and crannies, and just kind of giving it a better shape, that it's going up and not so 2D. However, I don't want these over-detailed, as I would like to have them be sort of a background piece. Like these mountains are way in the back, and there's going to be a little forest and a house, So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to figure out how to put in a shadow. Well, I stopped doing that, but I'll do that later. But what I tried to do was have a darker color on, offset on the left side, because I have the sun coming from the right. A darker color on the left side, giving the mountains a little bit more pronounced nature, having them away from the other mountains, and just having it look a little bit more realistic. I'm adding in just a little bit of andesite to give it a little bit of texture, and then I'm going to go through with some cobblestone later, adding in blocks, stairs, slabs, whatever can make it look the best and more natural. Here comes the cobblestone. I really like this kind of block palette. Now that I'm looking back on it, I may have wanted to add cracked bricks, but I'm thinking because this is a more natural build, I'm pretty good where I was. But these gray colors, the andesite, the cobblestone, and the regular stone all look very, very well together and can really make a build pop. As of right now, it just kind of looks like one mountain with two peaks. I'm going to try to fix that later with the shading, but this is a problem I have quite a lot in making things, where if you don't allow enough space between them and do use most of the same colors, then it can look very flat. Now here I'm adding in some gray wool to attempt to give a little bit of a shadow. I'll add in some light gray wool on the other sides to give it like the sun is hitting it, so it's lighter on one side where the sun is, and darker and in shadow where the sun isn't, obviously. I really like driving through the mountains in, West Virginia and that area. And something I've always found really cool is driving through them when it's, early spring. because there's still snow there, and you'll see the snow on one side of the road, but not on the other. And, you kind of think, hey, why is that there? Well, because, you're cutting through the mountains most of the time on the road. So the sun is hitting one side of the road and melting all the snow, while on the other side it remains shaded. I've always thought that was kind of cool. And speaking of snow, I've just adding a little snow cap to the top two mountains and layering in some more snow carpets around the bottom two. And I decided to put in a little forest with some spruce leaves. I like spruce leaves for this as they give a little bit more darker color. It's a little bit more green rather than lime, which I very much enjoy about them, especially for these more muted builds. I'm making sure to give these a natural look, bushing some up and on the left side and keeping them a little bit lower on the right side, as on the right side we will have a larger thing to balance it out. And right now I'm putting in the outline for where I want my little frozen lake to lie. I originally wanted to have it larger, but then I kind of went back on it, and that's okay. Anything you do, you can always go back and change it. It's one of the great things about this game is, you can just break it and then rebuild it. I'm adding in snow on the bottom and the sides so you don't see the grass that's kind of an ugly texture through the ice. And I'm just putting in regular ice around the sides and leaving the middle part open with water, as in the winter it freezes from the outsides in. Now I decided to put in a little cabin right here. I originally went with a a diagonal look, but then that was too hard, so I changed it. And this is just a little log cabin with spruce, and some of the logs are facing towards you and some of the logs are facing to the side to give it that look. Adding in a little bit more foliage to act as bushes and trees in the background of the build. Adding in more snow carpets around, again, because it's cold, it's winter, it's been snowing. And, heck, let's add in a little dock too. That could look nice. And a red nether brick roof. This is a great roof texture and color because it gives you a very rustic feel while also, providing real life characteristics. And it's a little dark and it's muted. Even though it's red, it's a great roof block. Now there, I didn't quite finish the whole tree because I didn't want to make a tree that big. And it will be out of the frame in the final picture, so I just left it. While here I'm building a larger spruce tree that will be mostly in frame. I'm just throwing a little snow on the leaves. It's important not to have the snow all just lie completely flat, as that can get really boring, so you want those little snow drifts. And here's a little pile of wood that I just used rails and ladders to make it look like it's tied down. And I think we need a little chimney, just something to keep you warm on those cold nights. So we're gonna make this out of some granite and some brick, some stairs, just to make it look like it's been used. This house has been lived in. And then using some black glass and gray glass for a kind of a smoke cloud coming out. This house is a warm house. It has life, it has character. And that just about wraps everything up. I really do hope that you enjoyed this. I certainly did. Building this was just a ton of fun. And, if you really liked it, let me know by doing all those YouTube-y things. Kind of say, hey, I really like this kind of content. Do some more of this. And hey, in the comments, let me know what kind of a scene would you like to see next if you do want something like this. As I said, that just about wraps this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world. I will see all of you guys next time. Good night.